The clock is ticking, but not in the way that you think. It's not a countdown to success or failure. It's a counter on the amount of time you have left to prepare for the inevitable. The big, ugly truth you need to swallow today is simple. Life will eventually get hard. That's not a threat, that's just mathematics. Whether it's a health crisis that blindsides you, a financial issue that crushes your confidence, an employment layoff that eliminates your security, or a marriage issue that rips your world apart, the hard times are coming. They are an avoidable tax on existence. And the biggest mistake you can make is assuming that the good times you're currently enjoying will last forever. Let me explain. Right now, in the comfortable ease of today, you are coasting. You stop preparing the moment everything feels secure. That's the exact moment you lose the war. Complacency is the silent killer of potential, a slow, comfortable suicide. The security you feel now is a mirage, and you must use the period of relative ease to build the fortress that will shield you when the storm hits. You need to prepare yourself right now in the easy times so that when the inevitable hard times finally come, and they will, you're not destroyed by them. Instead, they become merely manageable tough, but not fatal. This is a simple distinction between a man who survives and a man who thrives. And all it comes down to is the daily disciplines you are currently ignoring. I wish somebody had slapped me across the face with this warning earlier. Your habits will dictate your future, and so will the low value people you keep around you. Look at the company you keep, look at your routines, and you're looking directly at the blueprint for your next 10 years. The biggest mistake most young men are making is setting what society calls normal. Just because the people who raised you or the neighbors next door lived a small, safe, predictable life and never dared to chase anything bigger, that doesn't mean you can't claim your own dream. That choice to settle for comfort and security is the exact thing that makes your life exponentially harder down the road. We confuse short-term ease with long-term happiness. We choose the comfort of the couch and the security of the guaranteed paycheck over the struggle, over the building of something real. But that struggle is the investment. If you're willing to struggle early on, take the hit, and build the foundation while you're young and have energy, you will live infinitely more comfortably later. You will earn the right to peace. This isn't just about money. It's about character. The man who chooses the path of least resistance is guaranteed a future defined by maximum pain and regret. The problem is that life will not pause for you to figure it out. The world doesn't care if you're tired, if you had a rough night, or if you feel unmotivated. I remember turning 27, staring at my two sons, one 4 and one just born, and finally being hit by the realization that the world doesn't stop. I was still caught in the cycle of drinking every weekend, letting my paycheck burn through my fingers and convincing myself I was just having fun. But the reality was that I wasn't happy. That moment when I gave up alcohol and felt the rush of time pass by was terrifying. It hit me that every hour spent doing things that didn't push me forward was time stolen from my future self, and more importantly, from my family, from my kids. Wasting that valuable time is a mistake you will pay for 10 times over, not by some grand philosophy, but by the cold, hard weight of reality. There are certain events that push a man to his next level, moments where comfort is not only gone, but actively stripped away. For me, it wasn't one single wake-up call, but a series of cold, sharp shocks. The moment I moved out at 21, that humbling period where my wife, newborn son, and I were living crammed in a garage, the birth of my second son, which cemented my responsibilities, and then then the lawsuit that threatened to wipe everything out. But the failure that truly changed how I thought came in when I mismanaged my company's finances so badly I couldn't even process payroll. I had to go to my wife, a great saver, and watch her empty her personal savings just to cover my incompetence. That embarrassment, that feeling of having failed the person I love most was the eye opener. That's the moment I realized I cannot run a business or a life like that anymore. It all culminated and the emotional breaking point when I finally understood that I was completely terrifyingly alone. Nobody was coming to write my business plan. Nobody was coming to fix my failures I had racked up. When the bank account was empty and the legal notices were piling up, there was no cavalry. It was all on me. That's the truth about adulthood. The responsibility of becoming a father, the sheer weight of putting food on the table every single day, and the knowledge that everything, success or ruin, is solely dependent on your actions. That responsibility is heavy, but carrying it is what makes the real man. You can either be crushed by the weight or use it as fuel. So right now, many men are ignoring the things that will absolutely break them later. They ignore the essential work of building good habits. They go into debt the moment their income increases, buying liabilities and confusing material status with actual wealth. They ignore their health, eating and drinking whatever they want, acting invisible while their bodies take the silent internal damage. Those bad habits are the slow motion wrecking ball. By the time pain is loud enough for you to hear it, by the time the financial or health collapse is real, it's too late to climb out easily. You have dug yourself into a deep hole, and the behaviors that guaranteed this struggle were avoiding accountability, shunning responsibility, and chasing instant gratification, and surrounding yourself with people who keep you small. The path to being stuck is paved with predictable, terrible choices, going day by day, no measurable goals, and a total lack of self-discipline. Complacency is the jail cell you built for yourself. Brick by brick, you allow the fear of change, the fear of failure, to be a more powerful motivator than the desire for a better life. So you start telling yourself convenient lies. You say it's normal to live paycheck to paycheck. You blame the economy, the government, the system, anything but the person staring back at you in the mirror. You create elaborate excuses for the lack of progress because you are terrified of trying something hard and failing. You accept being average because it's a safe place to hide. The only way out is a total shift. I had to change everything. I used to be that guy living day by day, drinking every weekend, running through my paycheck, and waking up broke every Monday, telling myself I was just having fun. That lasted until life smacked me hard enough to realize that true masculinity is defined by responsibility, not escapism. The change started in my head. I had to change now. I had to change how I thought, how I saw life, and how I controlled my emotions, becoming less impulsive in every aspect. I shrank my circle ruthlessly, cutting out negativity and focusing only on positive influences. Then I found fuel, the fear of losing everything I had, the white-hot intensity of competition, and the satisfying silence that comes from proving doubters wrong. I found my why, and then on top of that purpose, I built the concrete walls of discipline. French philosopher Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." The real transformation came from changing the mechanic daily operations of my life. I stopped drinking and doing drugs, and instead I engineered habits that improved my focus and brain function. The game changer was getting up 5 days a week at 5 a.m. for a high intensity workout, boxing, weightlifting, running. When you take care of your body, your mind is forced to follow. You feed your body garbage and you get garbage results. If you're consistently hungover, tired, and sluggish, how can you demand that your brain operates at 100%? The moment you clean up the physical house, the mental clarity follows immediately. You need to develop a lion's mindset, strong, focused, and absolutely unbreakable. You have to understand that people will criticize you for trying to be different. They will envy your effort, and they will talk behind your back, projecting their own mediocrity onto you. Your job is to stay solid, identify who is feeding your fire and who is pouring water on it, and then cut the bad ones out completely. Become Become stoic. Don't entertain negativity. If people speak badly of you, you destroy them not with words, but with cold, perfect silence. Let your success be the only one they have to talk about. Eventually, they will realize they were wrong and you will already be too far ahead to hear it. This mindset is everything. Whether you want to be a better man or a successful entrepreneur, without it, you will accomplish nothing. To go from feeling stuck to actually building the life you want, you first have to create conviction. You have to imagine a better future and truly want it so badly it hurts. Nobody can help you. If you don't commit to changing yourself first, then you take full accountability. Analyze your life without flinching. Where are you falling short? What specific mistakes are you repeating? What can you change today? Get a vision board, write it down, write down real goals, and create an action plan of small, achievable steps. You don't just say, I want a house. You write down the price, the down payment required, the monthly payments, and then you figure out the income you need to earn in order to afford it comfortably. Now you have a map. Without that kind of detailed plan and those concrete goals, you'll simply drift through life hoping that things magically change. But life only changes when you take decisive actions. You can stop this slide today. The first step, most essential one, is to stop wasting time. Time is the one currency you cannot earn back. Be honest with yourself about your strengths and your weaknesses. You can't fix what you're refusing to acknowledge. Immediately start building a daily routine that serves your goal, not your comfort. Find something that truly motivates you. Your burning why. Maybe it's your future family. Maybe it's the fear of being broke, or maybe it's the pure satisfaction of winning. Without a clear purpose, you will not move. You must commit to eating healthy, working out consistently, going to sleep early, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, organizing your week, waking up early, and having a task list that you execute without fail, day after day. These routines are not restrictions. They are the tools of freedom. If I could tell my younger self one thing, it would be to take life serious much sooner. When you're young, you feel invincible, like you can drink, party, and live recklessly. Both those consequences are theoretical. They are life altering. They catch up fast and they change your life forever. I wish I had started building businesses and developing my mindset work years earlier, which is why, let me tell you this, it is perfectly okay to be boring. It is okay to stay home on the weekends and to read books, to write down your goals, to build a business plan, or to start that YouTube channel you've been putting off. Money and opportunities are literally one click away in this modern world, but you have to be ready to click the right buttons. The biggest danger you face right now is ignorance. You already know you need change. You know you'll run out of money if you continue down this path. You know you might not be able to provide for your family, but you ignore it all because the consequences aren't staring you in the face yet. You refuse to learn discipline, structure, and organization. You'll struggle forever. Life will become very difficult no matter how much external success you might try to achieve. Most people procrastinate. They tell themselves, one day I'll start, or next year I'll change. They blink and 10 years have passed. They wake up in their mid-30s or their mid-40s feeling deeply depressed and resentful of everyone else's success. To protect their pathetic ego, they tell themselves that money is evil or unnecessary, but deep down they know they never took the actions that was required. It is infinitely better to fail early and learn than to fail late and live with the crushing weight of regret. Every early failure gets you one crucial step closer to success. Why I say this all? Because the future for the man who never changes is bleak. You'll live that average life, 9 to 5 that drains you, a decent income that barely covers the bills, maybe a house if you're lucky, and 10,000 in savings that evaporate in an emergency. But times have changed. Inflation is swallowing wages and housing is a distant dream for many. Why would you settle for life that is actively getting harder? Why not build something bigger so you can earn more, live better, and secure your freedom? The opportunities are there, but the first thing you have to build is a new mindset. This is the final warning. Stop waiting for permission or motivation. Do what is hard now, because if you don't build your dreams, you will absolutely end up building somebody else's. I want you to get off the couch. Start something, build something. Feel that hunger to grow. Nothing changes until you find your purpose and envision the possibility before it becomes real. Life is too damn short to live scared. Never Never choose the easy route. Always choose the hard work. That's the only place where real lasting results come from.